of yours.
I'm meeting my neighbors today.
Yes, well, they're all hanging around here. I don't know I don't know what's going on.
Well, that's just because we're so entertaining.
Apparently.
Not our family. I'm just, well, you can be
No.
part of the family.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
thank you. So, Susan, where do you live?
I live right down the street.
Down that way.
I do, just a few houses down. So they started their clear cutting down by my house and
Oh,
then
they
made
started
their
it?
way down this way.
Oh, gosh.
And it's been, just to tell you my personal experience, it's been horrible.
Yeah.
Just horrible to hear the constant cutting of the trees and just watching them get closer and closer.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had stomach issues,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I've been crying, I've been praying, everything under the sun, and there's no way to get away from it. You just
Yeah.
have to. Every time I think, well, you know what, I'm just going to accept it. It is what it is. We tried our best, and we did a great job. I'll just accept it, and I'm good for about a half an hour, and then there's that, and it just goes right to your heart. It really does.
I
It's
can
horrible.
imagine. Jill made shot some videos, and
Susan did too. We're going to
And
be
did you?
editing them in.
I have yet to be able to look at them, to be honest with you. You know, because it's just heart wrenching. It's just awful.
It really is.
And you know, as we were talking in our last chat with another one of your neighbors about the effect on humans, you know, that this is not only about the wildlife and the beauty and
Well, you know, I want to say that I'm a big wildlife person,
Yep.
and you're right. It's not just about the wildlife, but the loss of the wildlife
Yeah.
affects us.
Absolutely.
That's your point.
no, you're right. You're absolutely right. And it affects us in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, we are so egocentric. We forget that we're part of an ecosystem,
Exactly.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you take one part of that ecosystem out, it affects all the rest of it. I don't care if it's that little whatever those things are that live underground.
Well, that's actually the foundation of the ecosystem are all the insects and amphibians, because they feed the next part up, and so forth and so on, and we're at the top of that. And so once you
talk about-
start this destruction, it's bad
Yeah.
for all of us.
Yeah, you talk
bad
about the
for
food chain.
That's right.
You know, I mean, I'm not a meat eater, but people eat meat. The cows, the deer, whatever, they get fed by, you know, something smaller, and that gets fed by something smaller. The insects, the bees,
The
all of that,
pollinators.
the pollinators.
Yeah.
We have a rule in our house: we don't eat anything with big brown eyes, so you're safe. You, on the other hand, are not so safe.
But I can't. I'm allergic to anything that has 4 legs.
Yeah,
I can't eat it
yeah.
because of the Lone Star tick. But that's another story.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
right.
you really
yeah.
can't.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they serve a purpose too.
They do.
Possums eat them.
Possums eat ticks. Yeah.
And the
birds.
turkeys.
I'm sure. Yeah.
birds.
And you know, I'm also a huge animal person, wildlife and pets and everything else. And if you've lived with animals, whether as pets as I do or just observers of them, you begin to understand how intricate and complicated their lives are, and they're real lives. They're not just birds.
Exactly. Yeah.
Their lives with families,
Mhm.
with babies, with instincts that lead them to do beautiful and wonderful things. Watch the mating dance of some of these wonderful birds. It's just fabulous.
Yeah.
So we just don't stop to think about these are lives. These are real, honest to goodness lives that we're destroying.
And right now, we've all been witnesses of some of the ways that they have been. I guess the best word is freaked out by all this, and
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be able to cut some of that video in. But the animals right now are stressed.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
stressed.
I'm stressed. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
stressed and they're stressed.
Animals that we've seen that would occasionally come to our yards. You know, once in a
gone.
blue moon, you'd see them. Well, no, now we're at least at this point in time, we're seeing more and more of them in our yards because they've got no place else to go.
Right, but you can tell they're like the video of the turkeys running in circles, or the fox that came by, because we have red fox that visit us every night, and when I walked out on the deck, ran back, and then it was just like it didn't know what to do because it's the woods
It's
are gone. The cover was gone.
Oh, it's very distressing, and I think this is, I don't even know where to go with this. It's just sad.
People, I think some detractors would say that we only got involved because this is happening in our own
Backyard,
backyards.
yeah.
But I feel that because it was happening in our own backyard, it was our responsibility to save it. Not because, you know, I mean, one of the reasons I moved to my house is because I did like the trees.
Sure, absolutely.
But now that they were in my backyard, I felt like it was my responsibility to fight for them. And I just want other people to understand that.
You raise a really good point. I mean, it is so often true that we first get involved because of something that's happening in our backyard. But the key is to stay involved. And that's one reason to thank you and all of Jill's other nosy neighbors who are here is to say thank you, because you didn't stop once things got settled in your backyard. You're still involved. You're still working on it. You're still trying to protect other people's backyards, as it were. And that's what really matters.
This is the forest I've decided to die in, or the sand dune I've decided to die on, or
Yeah.
we don't have mountains or hills, so I can't say that.
And let me just end by saying a huge thank you to Jill and Bill, because if it wasn't for them, I mean, they had their eye on what was going on back here. They were the first ones, and they got the rest of us involved. And then that just led one thing to another, and now we've got the Sussex Preservation Coalition, which is awesome.
Yep.
So you
Yep.
guys are
So
the
we're
best.
just going to end this by saying SussexPreservationCoalition.org. Go there, sign up. We're relatively new, but we're growing rapidly. We've got lots on our plates, lots more coming along. SussexPreservationCoalition.org.